What is the SCP Foundation? The SCP Foundation was launched January 19th, 2008. It is a fictional organization documented by the web-based collection fiction project of the same name. Within the website's fictional settings, the SCP Foundation is responsible for locating and containing individuals, entities, locations, and objects that violate natural law. The real-world website is community-based and includes elements of many genres such as horror, science fiction, and urban fantasy. On the SCP Foundation Wiki, the majority of works consists of Special Containment Procedures, or SCP, structured internal documentation that describes an SCP object and the means of keeping it contained. The website also contains thousands of Foundation tales, short stories set within the universe of the SCP Foundation. The series has been praised for its ability to convey horror through its scientific and academic writing style, as well as for its high standards of quality. The Foundation has inspired numerous spin-off works, including the horror indie video game SCP Containment Breach. Within the website's fictional setting, the SCP Foundation is a secret organization entrusted by governments around the globe to contain and study anomalous individuals, entities, locations, objects, and phenomena operating outside the bounds of natural law, referred to as an SCP objects, or colloquially as SCPs or Scps. If left uncontained, the objects would pose a direct threat to human life and humanity's perception of reality and normalcy. The existence of SCPs is withheld from the public to prevent mass panic and to allow human civilization to function normally. When an SCP is discovered, the Foundation deploys agents either to collect and transport the SCP to the Foundation or to contain it and its location of discovery if transport is not possible. Once the SCPs are contained, they are studied by Foundation scientists. Test subjects acquired by the Foundation, referred to as D-Class, are used to interact with dangerous SCPs. Due to the danger posed by those SCPs and the expendability of the D-Class, the SCP Foundation maintains documentation for all of the SCPs in custody, which can include or link related reports and files. These documents describe the SCPs and include instructions for keeping them safely contained. Examples of contained SCPs: SCP-055 is something that causes anyone who examines it to forget its various characteristics, thus making it indescribable except for in the terms of what it is not. SCP-87 is a staircase that appears to descend forever. The staircase is inhabited by SCP-87-1, which is described as a face without a mouth, pupils, or nostrils. SCP-108 is a Nazi bunker system that is only accessible through a portal found in a woman's nose. SCP-173 is a humanoid statue comprised of rebar, concrete, and Krylon spray paint. It is stationary when directly observed, but it attacks people and snaps their neck when the line of sight is broken. It is extremely fast, to the point where it can move multiple meters while the observer is blinking. Frequently used object classes include safe, SCPs that are understood enough to be reliably contained; elusive, SCPs that are either not understood enough to reliably contain or behave in an unpredictable manner; Keter, SCPs that cannot be fully contained or require overtly complex and elaborate procedures to contain; Thaumiel, SCPs used to contain other SCPs or are beneficial to the Foundation; Explained, SCPs whose anomalous effects can be fully explained by conventional science; and Neutralized, SCPs that are either destroyed or cease anomalous behavior.